Live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 335. The title may say 345, but it's really 335. I'm just completely out of it, playing with the Jordan flu game tonight. But as always, we do the show. Here's my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong, with me, JB. How are you, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, y'all.
I think you gave me your sickness.
No, we didn't have any contact last week. I was probably a little stuffy and everything else last week, but we didn't have any contact. It's finally just kind of catching up with Brandon Reef, y'all. And we've had it might need to be renamed to the Brandon Reef game. Like, how many times you didn't have this Jordan flu game? Like, this is the video podcast that we didn't update. It's 2025. We finally got out of the AOL world, y'all. And you know what I'm saying? Sorry, Blog Talk. See, I think there's remnants of Blog Talk of our conversations out there. I do miss it. I do. But, you know what I'm saying? Brandon's had some flu games in the last, 7 years that we've done Crossroads Sports, man. So he's trooping it out tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody thinks it's probably going to be a rip 'em up show. Like, this is Crossroads Sports' chance to rip up the NBA. You know what I'm saying? As far as All-Star Weekend is concerned, I got my own personal critiques. It definitely is not going to toe the line. It's not going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe Birdsong is, you know what I'm saying, with the players and all this other thing. But like, man, we're going to have some truths kind of come out tonight. But like, no, man. And we got a little, you know what I'm saying, little NFL talk, I know, just a little bit. And definitely some college basketball talk. So, like, hey, y'all, flu game Brandon, this is nothing new to him. He's really just trying to, like, soak it up. So, man, send all your cash.
Exactly what it is.
Flash your cash app up there for Brandon.
Yeah, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Man, Brandon's going to trip. So, like, man, where you want to start tonight, bro?
I feel like we got to start with the NBA. And that's probably what got me sick was the weekend that was the NBA. Started off, we had the Friday night we had the celebrity or Thursday night we had the celebrity game, and then Friday it was the Rising Stars, which hand up, I didn't catch a lick on Thursday. I did not catch a lick on Friday. I caught about an hour's worth on Saturday, and then Sunday I got demoted. I didn't catch a lick of the game. I had to watch back and watch recaps because me and the wife were tuned into the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary show.
Oh, okay, you on that? Okay, well,
yeah. So I didn't watch the NBA All-Star game. I watched the 50th.
There was other programming on. Again, listen, y'all. I'm not about to crash out on the NBA just for this particular reason. It's an exhibition game, right? I know, Dead Paul. It's an exhibition game, so it's not like, why are you getting so crazy about it? I know it was an overboard. Like, the network has to, like, if you want it to be, they got to figure out what you want it to be, though. It's an exhibition game, but is it going to be an all-star game? I don't know. It can't be. That was like the closest point to Rock and Jock that you're going to get. For real. I love MTV Rock and Jock. I love MTV. I wish it would come back. It ain't coming back, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's Rock and Jock. I love the you know what I'm saying, the halftime. Too Short, come on, man.
Oh, yeah?
Loved it. He didn't do all my songs, Too Short songs I thought he would play. I mean, Too Short songs I know was Dope Fiend Beats and Freaky Tales, all the songs you can't play. It ain't family friendly, man. But, like, no, it was great to see. It was a spectacle, but, like, not enough basketball. But y'all wanted this. The network, you want more money. So, like, we want players to get more empowered, more players want more money. And, like, that's part of it. And I get it. But, like, you pay somebody $55 million a year, and there's more than one person that makes $55 million a year, and you know what I'm saying, $60 million a year in the NBA, like an all-star exhibition game, what I just kind of described with all the other extras on it, and, like, it's not really serious. Like, they're not going to take it very seriously. You can have all the come to Jesus moments you have. They've already had Michael Jordan, Larry Bird talk to the folks. You know what I'm saying? They've already, and then they've already had other, network executives come talk to the folks. So
what do you do?
I'm not about to jump off the bridge and be like Kevin Durant, because that's like foolish what he was saying. Even if he was like joking, like, "Hey man, why don't we just cancel All-Star game?" Hey, like, dude, like, first of all, like, let's rewind real quick. If you saying that it's an entertainment game, then okay, technically the All-Star game will be canceled, and you won't ever have to have a 3-point contest, a dunk contest. You can just have an All-Star game, and you can just even start mixing in like celebrities or whoever, or even like other, athletes. You could even probably popping them into like, so then because now the resume of like having an All-Star MVP on your, on your resume or whatever, like or even being a 3-point champion or a dunk champion, that doesn't mean anything anymore, right? But if you're saying it's an All-Star game that we kind of got to take seriously, and we had then like some of the TV stuff got to be pulled apart, right? It got to go. I know it has to go. And then Brandon, don't get us in trouble. I'm praying. This is why I'm praying. You have to change the culture of how basketball is, how we engage basketball. Some of the old rules might have to come back. 2 years go, like, friend, we don't need you right now. Stay over there in Duke. Stay over there in Kentucky. Stay over there in Kansas. Figure out what you need to be. Florida, Grant, I won't go crazy because Kansas lost by how much last night? 1 million. Florida, Bigdunya, like, oh my God, the first 5 games in Kansas, he blew up. Oh my God, like Brandon, y'all need to get him. Like, I wouldn't tank for him, but like, y'all need to get him because like in the next 5 years. But like now, I'm thinking these dudes listen too much to the pressings. All of them now. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
They listen too much depressing. Oh man, they saying I can. Oh, okay, all right. Wait till like no, because you know what? If Bronny can get, I don't want to get in trouble. If Bronny can get a $10 million deal, and we know he's just, he's only got that deal. Hey man, do you think is Bronny better than the homies down at Purdue? He's not.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So what is a Braden Smith is thinking? All right, man, wait a minute. I know I'm paid right here, but like if that can get you $10 million. I can get and I kind of work my way up to it or whatever. So the it's not necessarily a healthy. Now I know, like, listen, man, you can't say Cooper Flag go back to Duke and like the NBA is gonna give you, $25 million. You know what I'm saying? You can't play that game, right? You generational wealth, you know what I'm saying, and the opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, to try to heal, like make the league ain't got no face coming.
Somebody's saying, bring it back to the All-Star. Wrap it back to the All-Star. Somebody's saying.
Wrap it back to what? No, it got to be the All-Star game too. It has to be the other culture back, like the other. It's all flawed, bro. It is. Who's like the next lottery pick guy is gonna be Cooper Flag. Great. He's not necessarily ready to be the face of the freaking Washington Wizards. He's not.
Why not?
Because he's still like 10 years old, man. He's got to be, and like that's a heavy lifting, man. It ain't no more Kobe Bryant's, unfortunately walking through that door. So, like, no.
Well, you don't think you have to be. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, I feel like he's the face of the Spurs.
I don't know, Brandon. Good call, friend. I'm glad you brought that up. And I ain't trying to be super nationalist, patriotic, friend, but like, man, that's not an American-born player.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that to be but like the NBA, like who was supposed, like, all right, so when the Olympics, we wrote Olympic basketballs out there, who
we watched the documentary today, laying in bed.
Who we all expect to win? Who we all expect to win when the basketball go out there for the Olympics?
USA.
Crying ass Kevin Durant. That's who we expect.
4-time Olympian champion and leading scorer champion.
That's cool. So my point is, man, it like, who's the national face? Who's the guy from like, from Georgia or IU or Duke right now? These dudes are shying away from the shine, Brandon. Kevin Durant says, all I want to do is ball. Like he says this, he said that 2 stops ago.
Is there a chance that the reason why there's not is because the people that would be the guy, the shine guy for these top college programs, they're all in the G League?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Or they're playing overseas for that 1 year to go to the draft. So that's why we're not having that guy in college basketball.
Well, think about it, how how Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark built off their last 2 years to come into the WNBA. They built off their rivalry. We all got to know Caitlin Clark. We all got to know Angel Reese. They warred for the national title. And there you go. It kind of came on over. And with all the other ladies, you know what I'm saying, the Cameron Bricks from Stanford as well. You know, you don't want to forget them, you know, as well. They kind of bring their story with them. What's the story if you only play 1 year college? Zion Williamson, you know what? I was wrong, Brandon. He should have stayed himself over there and try to grind. There's no more grinding with that. That's a bust. It is. It's a bust. You have your prediction. I'm with it, Brandon. Kevin Durant he ain't never win no championship ever. He don't want to play for the Warriors? You scared? Sound like it? He's going to who?
Send him to Sacramento.
Anthony Edwards? Oh, man. No, I could be. No, don't sound like, no, you can't be. You don't want it. You can't do it. They don't want it. The challenge ain't in none of these dudes, man. Sound like they just want to ball. That's cool. But it's going to suffer. The product's going to suffer, and you're going to have this continued cycle of people not liking the product. Now, when you talk about the stars who was there, there was too much Kevin Hart, right? Mr. Beast,
way too much from what even I saw.
Was Mr. Beast is like for little kids, man. Like they trying to reel in you. Like I know y'all don't know Mr. Beast. I didn't know Mr. Beast was till like 2 years ago. Some YouTuber, God bless America. He's more famous than Bill, you know what I'm saying, than whatever, than sliced bread. He is that in their world. In their world, he's as big as Fortnite. In their world, he's as big as Minecraft. He's right along with those brands. So to see him there, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of see the NBA trying to, you know, pick up fans there. But the way we kind of digest basketball, how we used to, like the college guys is coming in spoiled. And
you know what I enjoyed more this weekend?
What you did? Please don't.
I watched the highlights, and it was extended YouTube highlights. It was probably an hour long between all the games played for the NBA All-Star game. I went back and watched the 98 All-Star game, Jordan's last one in Madison Square. I would watch that one because I thought that was...
That's your favorite. My favorite is probably that got more than one. Matt Johnson, when he got his last 92, one.
Yeah.
That was great. There's another one. Allen Iverson MVP one. That was pretty good.
93 I liked as well.
It was one. Steve Nash.
02 was another one.
Yeah, Steve Nash.
I saw it today. They were talking about it on the Netflix documentary, which if you haven't seen the Team USA Netflix thing that's out, I'm 3 episodes in.
I just don't understand, Brandon. You got to help me out. Brandon, I don't understand.
Larry Bird instilled it into those players, and those players said during that 1998 NBA All-Star game, there's this new dude, Kobe Bryant, that says he's going to come over here and do this to Michael Jordan, and this is Michael Jordan's last All-Star game. We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to let him show up, Michael Jordan. We're going to play defense on him. We're going to guard him to up tight. We ain't going to let him do his shine. And guess what? They do it out there. That was probably the most competitive NBA All-Star game in history. Has to be one of the. If it wasn't the 92, we'll go back and watching that. Yeah, there was some defense, but not a lot. Right. This 98 one was definitely. If you get a chance, watch it on YouTube. It's there. There's a million some views.
We'll put it on the Crossroads. Don't worry about it. I'll pull the video.
Yeah. Here's my take on it.
Go for it, bro.
We did back to the original East versus West last year here in Indianapolis. Yeah. We scored 200 points. No defense again. People bitched. Okay. So be it. I'm at the point now where people bitch over anything, and it is what it is. They did this one. Okay, you only played till 40. It's kind of the concept was right. I don't think the gameplay was right. I won money on Steph Curry easily for the MVP. I put money on that before I even watched the damn game because I felt like it was going to happen. I don't know if you go to USA versus the world next year because you're going to hear people, huh?
Didn't they do that a couple?
They did it for Rising Stars a couple years ago.
Man, they were talking about like that was a new great idea. I was like, man,
what do you do? That Major League Baseball had the same issue, and they went to, hey, if you for a while before it got competitive again, hey, if you win, whichever side wins it, East or West or AL, NL, they get home field advantage for the World Series. I don't know if you do that for the NBA Finals because I mean, you think about it, only 2 teams are making it. Right. I don't know if you do that. I don't know if you do the World. I don't. I think, do you do, and I saw they want to do an exhibition. I would much rather, and this must piss people off, I'd rather take away the dunk contest and put in that place a 1-on-1 16-man tournament. that you played a 15 or you played a 12.
Remember the homie said, Matt Gaddis said they need to do the play-in tournament. Not the play, excuse me, the
In-season tournament?
The in-season tournament, have it be the All-Star game. That's what the homie said. I don't have no.
Yeah.
I don't have
What's
no.
your thoughts on LeBron? This whole time he was playing, and he said, "I'm out." Like right before.
Yeah, I'm saying, Brandon, I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed to the people that, except for Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas don't ever say you a shooter, bro. Sorry, man. You, man, Brandon. Look at me. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna send it to him. Me and you could outshoot Cam Thomas and Norman Powell. I promise you.
Stop.
Okay.
Cam Johnson. Give him his respect of his name at least.
He's gonna be Cam Thomas. Dude, he get 14. Cam Thomas is the other guy. But anyway,
this.
I'm disappointed.
Challenge, I thought was a joke, especially with Chris Paul and Wemby trying to cheat. I'm about to shut the damn thing off as soon as I saw them doing that. I was okay because I won this. I won a bet on the skills challenge. I didn't win the 3-point contest. And Tyler Hero, where the hell did NBA Jam? He's on fire. Come from for that competition. I thought it was Buddy Hields.
He proving him wrong.
Then
Hero was going to be a dunk
contest. Besides Matt McClung, he's the only one keeping this thing alive. The only one. Now Castle had 2 good dunks, but the rest of those jokers.
Yeah, I go for that. I couldn't believe it.
Terrible. Get rid of
it. They rode the car out there too soon, man. He was like, let's bring the car. But you know what? The good thing about McClung, like I followed.
Why do you need a dunk coach out there?
I followed McClung on Instagram. He got a pretty good story, man. He's still trying to make the league, man. He can't go left.
I think the biggest story is what uniforms are going to wear, which teams are going to be on for that next year. I'm surprised he was a Magic again.
Yeah, he's only played like 4 or 5 games in like the last 5 years. But he's played G League. Like, dude, he played G League game. You see his G League game, he's like 40 and 16. It's crazy.
Another thing they did was, they didn't do it for the main All-Star game, right? But they did it for the Rising Stars game. Is they did the top Rising Stars guys, and they took on the G League All-Star team. That was another Rising Star game that they had years ago. I don't know where you go, John. I think there's flaws in every sense of the realm with it. I think you just take the no def. It's entertainment, right? You want entertainment. You score 200 points. Guess what? You score 200 freaking points. If you're gonna watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't.
You've already sold it to the TV networks, right? Yeah. I say go with the Elam ending, 84 points. I'm being serious. Elam ending, East-West. Don't get mucky up with Canada versus the United States, man. Don't start no daggone stuff that don't need to be started. You know what I mean? The hockey's natural. That's how hockey is. You know what I'm saying? The NBA is like, it's the national, you know what I mean? Like, don't get crazy.
The Four Nations thing is amazing. It's amazing. Love what NHL did for it. Tomorrow night's a championship.
Well, you know what? Hockey learned its lessons, man.
John, they fighting. The game started between USA and Canada the other night, and it dropped gloves 6 seconds in. And guess what they're going to do tomorrow? They're going to drop gloves one more time.
That's what hockey's about. But hockey learned its lesson, man. They had a lockout, and you know what I'm saying, and players, if business wasn't good, and like now everything is kosher now, man. I'm happy for them. NBA, you got a lot of work to do. But I say, have an Elam ending. And again, man, All-Star MVP and like the awards, they do mean something. And like, or you do like I said, just make it total entertainment and then take all the awards away and just have this entertainment basketball game, where you can make it'd be like Rock and Jock, and you have 4 pointers and all this, but like take all the entertainment, take all the like the awards and stuff away because it won't really matter.
There was a comment made over the weekend from a anonymous general manager. Obviously, didn't want to put their name to it, which I don't blame him. But the anonymous general manager said Adam Silver is obsessed with tournaments, whether it be the play-in, the in-season, or the All-Star. It has proven not to be beneficial to the league one bit.
It can again. It has kind of like the in-season
revenue. That's the only thing.
Yeah, the in-season tournament has kind of caused, other than having like a cool floor, different uniforms, it has kind of caused a little bit of confusion because it's not just because you win the in-season tournament, it's not a direct line to the championship. Right. And I don't necessarily think people necessarily respect it because they don't necessarily understand it. You know what I mean? Usually Usually tournaments are held like in 1 weekend or 2 weekends, and this tournament is held like in different facets of the game, and like I said, it's kind of confusing, man. So, if it, I mean, I don't know. It's probably, is it too early to jettison the in-season tournament? Again, man, I don't know. I think it's probably too early to jettison it, man. But the NBA, you already know, Brandon. Me and you talk. The NBA is thinking about expansion, and they got also games coming in Manchester coming up. They are getting their roots. I mean, excuse me, they're getting their fillers out there more deeper into Europe. And if the college basketball kids don't want to pan out, what I'm saying, I want to play hard, they'll get a Euro guy that will, or a king, because they got basketball Africa too. You know what I'm saying? They do NBA Africa. They'll get one of those kids and replace. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what, Brandon? Tell me right if I'm wrong. Giannis got a different mind, and I know he's kind of got political with his locker room and his roster, right? But Giannis goes out hard all the time.
Yes.
But like I said, he's from Greece. Joker goes hard when it's when it's go time all the time. He's MVP. He's like 3-time MVP for what I'm saying. He's probably gonna win again this year.
Unfortunately, Doncic 40% of the time.
Well, it ain't 100% for 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because they got Dallas is sitting out.
They're back tonight. First game. There's only one game tonight. The Lakers.
Travis is sending out hate mail messages talking about he's smoking Newports after practice and stuff, man. Right.
Let me ask you this: on the documentary Netflix, and then the excerpt was put out today, but Tyrese during the Olympics was trying to recruit Joel Embiid. He says, "Hey man, come to Indy, and Joel Embiid says, "I'd rather retire than go to Indy." That's music to my ears. Man, you don't want him at part-time center playing for the Pacers.
I don't listen, man. It is what it is, man. But I'm going to tell you, you can't be dissing the town, man.
He went at it.
Listen, man, Brandon, Rajon Rondo said some ill stuff, man, talking about why y'all having the All-Star game in Indianapolis. Don't nobody want to go there because it's cold as hell.
Rajon was not happy.
All right, but okay, Rajon, he's Kentucky, so of course he was like nothing in Indiana. Did they win anything when he was there? I don't think they did, Chunk. I don't think they did.
I got trivia.
And don't forget about Josh Hart either.
Yeah, that punk.
I
got trivia for you, John. 7. We're gonna go back in reverse order since Larry Bird left the Indiana Pacers as their head coach. There have been 7 head coaches for the Pacers since that time. Starting from now, working your way back, can you name all 7 head coaches?
I probably can't, man. It'd be a lie. But we are the homie Frank Vogel.
Okay, there's one.
The homie Rick Carlisle.
There's 2. So there's 3 because he was twice. So okay, you're there. Come on.
I know. My God.
Who was before Carlisle?
I know.
This time right now.
He used to play for Seattle Supersonics. I cannot think about his name right now. It is not, and I don't cheat, man. So I'm not on Google.
You were sort of there, so I'm gonna give you Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan.
Who was after Nate McMillan? Before Carlisle.
Oh, the dude who did a minute. But
Nate York.
We jacked his name up so terrible.
Who was before Frank Vogel?
Was it O'Brien?
Jimmy O'Brien, correct.
Oh,
and
man.
Before Rick Carlisle the first time, there was a head coach that was there after Larry Bird. Who?
Isaiah Thomas.
There you go, John. JV trivia. JV trivia.
It ain't back there for
nothing. John, the Pacers are sitting at 30-23 to start the second half. The 4 seed. They have 29 games left in the season. It's crazy. The All-Star breaks actually. You'd think it'd be halfway, but it's not. They've already played 53 games, so they got 29 games left. John, how many? I've actually got them going 17-8 to finish out the last 29 games. Right?
That's
correct.
That's probably.
So I got them at 4. That puts them at 47 wins.
That's probably true to the course for them. Pacers unfortunately got on some nights they got a little bit of disappointing in them, even at home. So, but that's probably about right.
They've got some games. They got 2 against Brooklyn, 2 against Atlanta, 2 against Cleveland, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Clippers, Washington still. So they've got winnable games. So we'll see kind of what they do with that. NBA All-Star or NBA All-Star in national basketball or not basketball. Sorry. Let me try that again. The Basketball Hall of Fame has got some notable nominees, John. Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Sue Bird, Maya Moore among some of those nominees. Carmelo, I'm okay with. Dwight Howard, I don't think he should be getting the Hall of Fame.
D12? Hey, man, he's living a spicy lifestyle.
Is it about as spicy as Cat Anthony Towns? Because he's getting drugged right now on the internet.
I haven't been on the internet, but
he's a little. He sounds a little spicy. If that's the
himself. Well, D12's in the same category, but like he goes back. D12 goes back and forth. Yeah.
I mean, the way when he tries to, there's somebody put a compilation up of him going to the basket and very femininely yelling, "Oh my God!" like every time. So like every time "Oh my God!" like every time Karl Anthony Towns, and then like his conversations with people like during All-Star the mic room Scott. He plays for 2 teams, maybe 3.
Oh man, get out of Dodge!
But it's Cat, man. It's Cat.
But no, man. Look at D12's resume is
you think?
Do believe wasn't he Rookie of the Year? Defensive player how many times of the year? You know what I mean? Rebound champ, got to a final. I know the LA with Kobe, that was a horrible mess because like man, he up there ran his mouth and did not back up anything. And he did the same thing when he went to Houston. Just kind of put up, you know, and I'm not gonna say blind stats, man. Dwight
Howard's NBA champion, 8-time All-Star, 5-time NBA first team, second team once, 2 defensive player of the year 3 times, 3 in a row. Okay, I'll give him the.
Hey Brandon, he can get on Duncan alone, man. I think he's the better. I won't get in trouble, man. He's better than Duncan. Is he better than Vince Carter? Is he better than Vince Carter?
No. At dunking or the game?
Dunking.
No.
Man, he touched the top of the backboard.
Okay, that's his height. If Vince Carter was that tall, he could too. Let me ask you this. I need to get you fired up. I sent you a thing last week.
Dude, I'm already fired up. You know how many times I've been called liberal today and everything else?
You been called what?
Don't worry about it, man. I ain't gonna repeat it. Deep state and everything else today.
Are you getting deep state on us here?
On Facebook.
I saw some tweets like rolling yesterday that I was I didn't know what I thought we were getting a political fight for a second with somebody.
Not me.
There's a new basketball tournament, John, that's coming out this year for college basketball. It's called the College Basketball Crown. For those who don't know, it's going to be a new annual college basketball tournament by Fox Sports and A&G Global Partnerships. The first one's going to be held this year in the Las Vegas Strip. They're going to have a 16-team tournament, 2 automatic qualifiers from the Big East, the Big 10, and the Big 12, and 10 at-large teams selected from pooled teams that didn't qualify for the NCAA tournament. They are trying to make it bigger than the NIT. And there also indicates the team selection for those 3 conferences would be required to participate in the crown. It would make it impossible for them to participate in the NIT. So they're trying to overtake the NIT, and they can't back out. If they're selected for this crown tournament, they cannot back out. But it will be the first one. Fox Sports going to run it because they don't have any college basketball once you get to March after the conference tournament, and they want a piece of that pie.
Right.
Another postseason tournament. Now they're trying to cuck the NIT, which I know me and you've got beef with the NIT, which is fine. But your thoughts on this college basketball crown? I just heard about it last week.
When I kind of wrap my mind around it, I kind of like it, man. I'd rather that than you add 75 teams to the NCAA tournament or 175 teams. Because, like, ultimately, man, it is about, you know what I'm saying, what are you going to have these kids doing anyway once their season's over? Try to get into some type of summer league program with the NBA potentially, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, no, man, I think it's kind of cool. You said Las Vegas?
Las Vegas for the first year.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I'm sure they'll shift it around. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Maybe
Kyle, we did our take on the NBA exhibition weekend. Rewind this live. The first 20 minutes of it, 30 minutes of it was about it.
I don't know if they're gonna so you tell me it also kind of coincides with around the same time as the NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah. The only thing different I see is that with these 16 teams, they're gonna pick the top tier ones that don't make it, so they can't participate in NIT, and it's gonna say, "Hey, we pick you. You can't back out and say no."
There'll still be mid majors that the NIT will pick up. And then but you know what? Some of these teams gonna have to start thinking about. You might have to go over into Canada and play some basketball. You might have to go down Mexico City and play some basketball. You might people like basketball internationally. You know what I'm saying? But you know.
And also, I thought you would get a little thing is look at Fox Sports now. The TV's trying to get into it a little bit deeper.
They'll control it. However, you know what I'm saying. But it rather than have those quote unquote mediocre teams be in the NCAA tournament playing in if IU is however miserable that they might end up this year, they don't deserve to play in the NCAA tournament, and they don't necessarily deserve to, with their blue blood status still in jeopardy, right?
Well, the NIT is fighting it. They're trying to fight it in court because they're saying that they should be getting the top teams that are not in the NCAA tournament, and this new tournament coming in there paying the money.
Man, the NCAA, NCAA ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna get involved in that. The NCAA gonna be I ain't gonna do it.
Did you hear this weekend Michael Shrewsbury's press conference rant?
Yeah, why would he be under fire, man? He's lost two of his best players.
For those who haven't listened to it, you're watching our show. I got the audio. It's about 2 minutes long. I want to play the whole thing just so you can get the little gist of it. But he hit a mic as well. They're not doing very well, and they're talking about the fans who are pissed off at Notre Dame or whatnot. But this is going to be this here is the audio from his Shrewsbury's press conference. So give me 1 second. Here we go. Let's see where'd it go. It's coming.
We're gonna keep fighting. That's it. As a group, as a team, we're gonna keep fighting.
He gets louder.
We're gonna keep trying to get back to the drawing board. We keep trying to guard people. We keep trying to score people, and we're playing good people too. Right? But I know these guys aren't gonna quit. No, they're not.
Can you hear it, John?
Right? Yeah. And I understand that. I don't understand that a lot of people have quit on us. And well deserved. If you hate me, absolutely. Great. If you think I suck, if you think I can't coach, I'm with you, man. Good. Good for you, because you're allowed to have opinions. You think I should be fired? Good for you. You're allowed to have opinions, right? A lot of people have given up on this team. They've given up on me. I'm going to give a damn. I believe in myself, and I believe in these guys, okay? So, don't give up on these guys. Don't give up on these kids. You don't want to show up because of me. Don't show up because of me. Because you think I suck. Cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. I know people believe in me, right? I know people at Notre Dame believe in me. But don't give up on these kids, man.
Don't give up.
What have they done for people to give up on them? I know if you're not with us because we're losing, you don't want to come watch this, fine.
Here we go. He's going to get heated in a second.
Do it because of me, then. But not these kids, man. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. And nobody else getting home at 5 a.m. from Boston College and going to class the next day and coming to practice and working out and preparing to play Louisville. Nobody else is doing that. Don't give up on these kids, man. I don't care about anybody's opinion. I know who I am.
Here we go.
I know I can coach basketball. I know I'm turning this program around. So you gave up on me already? I'm going to see you back here. I don't give a damn. Don't give up on these kids. Because we're going to get this thing rolling. I sat there and watched more Louisville fans in here than Notre Dame people. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for me because I'm the head coach here. And yes, it's I got us in this predicament. But don't come back when we're losing or when we're winning. We're turning this around, man. You better believe that. Everybody that gave up on me, believe it. Write this date down.
That's you, John.
We're going to get this thing rolling. Gave up on me.
Slam that mic. Shrewsbury not happy. Your thoughts, John? I thought it was wild.
Man, I hope he schedules Akron and maybe Central Michigan next year.
Wisconsin, Milk, Green Bay, Gottlieb's team.
Yeah, you gotta, hey buddy, pat him up. You I mean, you done brought the bright lights on. Hey man, I love the passion, man, but now you done kind of called out the Catholics to sign your checks. And I love me some Catholics, man. So I don't want to get too, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go to heaven. But very passionate coach, man. Part of his diatribe, I think he also knows he's got to keep the players. He wants to keep the players, and like the media there is dumping on the players and not saying guys ain't giving effort. Again, Michael Shrewsbury and the Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying?
He lost his best player early in the year.
They lost their best players. And remember, man, we talking about Notre Dame basketball. We ain't talking, you know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about we got an NBA cachet. You know what I'm saying? Even though they do have good players, you know what I mean? So I know Shrewsbury's been in the short term because I know when he was leaving Penn State, folks think like, hey man, can he steer over him down in Bloomington? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? People wanted him there, but even though he's kind of from a different tree. He probably go to Purdue first before he went to Bloomington, but a different story. But like, I don't think no one would I kind of know as far as like other coaches that potentially might be going here, going there. Again, you would want to keep Shrewsbury, and then like I said, support him. Again, you want all those guys back next year to come back. This is a you know what I'm saying, a season of like we couldn't put ourselves in like position that we didn't think we was gonna be in. You know what I mean? Was our best players ain't even playing, man. So I wouldn't give up on Shrewsbury. But Shrewsbury, you got to deal it back just a little bit, just a tad.
Yeah. Did you hear this weekend Dwayne Wade kind of giving his explanation on the when the big three and LeBron's decision all went down? Have you heard that excerpt?
No.
Let me play that because it's kind of funny. I did find it this weekend, so let me grab that real quick.
Man, I want to have.
But I'm like,
here we go. This is about a minute long, so. He's sitting there with Candace Parker here talking about his details on LeBron's decision when it was made.
When LeBron did his decision, did you know LeBron?
Yes.
Okay, but I need the story. How did this come together?
So I knew on July 4th, Bron brought the conversation up to me on the phone. And I was like, you play with me, bro? Like, I never thought me and Bron would play together. Like, we love playing in the All-Stars and Olympics, but not the regular season. After we went through free agency and our private meetings, July 4th, we all got on the phone and we all decided that, all right, we're going to do this. Chris and I signed July 7th and LeBron is going to sign July 8th. So I know this. But while I was a little shook because LeBron stopped answering his phone after July 4th. Didn't hear from the man. So, reaching out to him, making sure we still good because this is a very
So you double text? Did you triple text?
Bro, I was doing all, I didn't want to do too much. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey, we still good? He said, I'm taking my time to South Beach. We don't even play in South Beach. It took me a minute when he said that. I was like, where he going? I was a little nervous.
Oh, shoot. So he goes, he taking his time to South Beach. We don't even play in South Beach. Like, but I thought that was pretty funny to hear. Everybody's shit they're giving LeBron right now on everything. College basketball, Purdue has lost 3 straight. It's been a long time since they've lost 3 games in a row. Tough one at Sparty last night. They lost a home game against Wisconsin as well. And then they lost to Michigan. 3 tough games. And now they come home, and then on the weekend, they're heading down to Bloomington to take on the Indiana Hoosiers team, who you got to watch for upset watch here.
You said what now, Brandon?
You got to be available for upset watch. Purdue could be 4 straight after this weekend.
Could be. Brandon, I don't know if you've seen any. I watched the Wisconsin game from beginning to end, man. You would have thought the Wisconsin Badgers had Larry Bird and Keith Van Horn and Austin Crozier. And again, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, on all sides, man, because my goodness, I feel like they didn't miss a shot. You know what I'm saying? And they had some good interior play as well. Brandon, Purdue doesn't have the great shot making, or, you know what I'm saying, obviously they don't. That's not there anymore. So there's only so much the perimeter players can kind of afford you. Inconsistent play out of reserves. First, inconsistent play out of Colvin, Heidi. And it's kind of where, you know what I'm saying, it kind of makes, you know what I'm saying, our friend with the green light, you know what I'm saying, kind of play out of control, Braden Smith. So I think they, you know, defensively, they got to get back to, you know, their mindset that they had, you know what I'm saying, the first 5 games of the season. And again, not to hang their heads on stray away from shots. Sometimes I think Colvin strays away from going to the bucket and settles for too much for jumpers. Sometimes I think there's not enough necessarily confidence in first. First kind of plays better at playing center than he is at power forward. They kind of figured that out. But he does get in foul trouble, and then they don't even get in foul trouble. So those are kind of some of the fixes I see for Purdue. And get back, you know what I'm saying? Big Ten championship might be out of. It's okay. The Big Ten championship might be out of contention, but like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, lick your wounds, get back in, you know what I'm saying, winning shape, get ready for the Big Ten tournament, get ready for the big dance, because they ain't going to no damn NIT, and they ain't going to, you know what I'm saying, they ain't going to no pretend other anything else in Las Vegas either. So.
We lost John. I see you. I lost your audio.
No, somebody tried to tap in.
Deep State.
Yeah.
I just read a tweet from Pete Thamel on the college basketball. I'll get back to college basketball, but on college football, it says sources say there's a call set for this weekend for the automatic 4 commissioners in advance of the college football playoff meetings in Dallas. There was expected to be an update on what transpired in the SEC Big Ten meetings in New Orleans and potential steps ahead for the college football playoff. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey made clear today that he wanted to share with colleagues potential next steps for college football playoff in 2026 and beyond before articulating them in public. But the rumor is that obviously the Big Ten and the SEC are both in favor of changing the seeding for the college football playoffs, which would then take out buys for the conference champions, and everybody would be seeded 1 through 14. Yes.
If I was a Big 12 commissioner, I'd probably, you know what I'm saying, have a backdoor meeting and try to pad, you know what I'm saying, Baylor's schedule or you know what I'm saying, so they could march their way right into the championship, man. Like a collusion. I really would, man. The Big Ten and SEC is like y'all buddies now until, you know what I'm saying, you turn your back until somebody turn your back. Hey man, they shouldn't trust one another. For real. The Big Ten's brothers is Ohio, and what's they hate one another is Ohio State and Michigan. Okay? Yep. Everybody get to know this. Oregon, you just here along for the ride. You might have zip tied up some other boys, but it's still Ohio State and Michigan. Frank Cinetti, you can get all the JMU jokers. You know what I'm saying? It's still Ohio State and Michigan. This other fool over here in Penn State, Brandon, shame on me. I didn't know he's black. Shame on me. Shame on me. I didn't know. They said 2 African Americans. I said, what? I didn't know James. I thought he had a bad tan.
He's a brother.
I know this now. But it's still run through Ohio State and Michigan. Okay? Same thing can be said about the SEC. Don't trust none of them dudes. It's Alabama. Like Alabama looking at, but you know what I'm saying? Don't trust none of them. And then like now, man, they college basketball is kind of taking over. And you know, that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, Big Ten land. So like they can't necessarily can't trust one another. If I was the Big 12, I would collude. Because guess what? They still need the Big 12 brand. They still kind of need the ACC brand. So like I would collude my schedules, man. I would. So that it would muck up their system. But you know me, I'm Deep State.
Mr. Deep State, that might be your new nickname. Mr. Deep State, any new thoughts for you on the Indiana head coaching basketball search?
Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
I have not even really put a thought.
You realize my talk about Rick Pitino is starting to take shape a little bit.
He ain't leaving he ain't leaving St. John's, is he already?
I wouldn't think so, but IU plays him.
Rolling over, he's great.
By the way, there's trouble. Like, I don't know if you've heard Brian Evans was on JMV show recently. The drama that I'm hearing down in Bloomington, that they had to cut coaches for other sports athletic programs because they didn't have the money for it. But yet they're going to pay a $8 to $9 million buyout to Mike Woodson, even though Woodson said that he was retiring. So which is it? Are you retiring? Because if you're retiring, then they don't owe you money. They don't owe you the $8 million if you retire.
Right.
So are you retiring, or are you being let go and you're going to get that $8 million? Because there's some really good coaches down there in Bloomington. They've had to do cuts, coaching cuts. Obviously, you got to pay Signetti. Now you're going to have to pay another IU coach. You may have to pay another buyout, and you're cutting these other athletic programs, head coaches and assistant coaches and things to think. And I don't get it. I don't. So is he getting fired? Because if he's getting fired, then he'll get the money. Is he retiring? Because if he's retiring, then you keep the money and spend it on other coaches. I think we lost JB. That deep state got him again. You're frozen on my screen, John. I gotta get a photo of John on the deep state. Oh, I lost him. I wanted to get a photo of him doing that. But yeah, man, like, which is it, IU? You put out this statement about Mike Woodson, great guy, this. Then Mike Woodson comes out, and then there's talk that he's going to retire. Okay, then IU is not going to pay you the $8 million for a buyout if that's the case. And they can put that money back into the athletic program for these other coaches. I don't know if it was swimming and diving, which athletic program it was for IU, but they've had to make cuts for that, and that's sad to hear. That's terrible to hear in an athletic program in the Big Ten Conference, a large conference like that. That's what they have to do. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But if that's what's the case, then they need to get that figured out. So we'll see if we get John back on here. I'm going to guess either his phone died or he had a call to take. But yeah, looking at Indiana this week, they only have one game. They had 9 days off from their last game before they bring the Boilermakers to town this weekend. So I would not be shocked if Indiana Hoosiers win this game this weekend. I would not be shocked. Yep. See if we get him back here.
Man,
there he is, Mr. Deep State.
No more, hey man, no more deep state jokes, man. They got on my line, man. I'm sorry.
No, we were just talking the Mike Woodson thing. If it's retirement, then you don't need to spend the $8 million. Don't get paid the $8 million.
Right. No. Right.
The press release showed. Red.
There's a lot. Well, as far as like who's gonna take that seat, man, there's a lot of passionate guys out here that ain't necessarily when they ask them, would they necessarily be wanting the head coach to be the IU? They didn't necessarily say no. You know what I'm saying? They just said they respect the position and all that, and I kind of respect they response. But once that seat becomes available, I would imagine there's gonna be a lot of folks. I'm ready and available and wanting to take that seat. If Steve Alford doesn't want it, you kind of got to go out. Me personally, Brandon, I think you need to go outside the family tree. Go for the best college coach that that can be that's a program builder that has shown it either at whatever level.
Right? You don't want a celebrity coach.
No, you don't need you past that. No celebrity coaches. You want somebody who's a program builder, and like I said, they can take. You know what I'm saying? You give them you've seen it. You give them what IU can do. They'll take it to a bigger, better places. Whether that's
I did hear a crazy rumor of somebody, which I don't see. I could see it, but I just don't see him doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's even wilder and crazier than Rick Pitino, and his name has not been brought up until I just saw it this afternoon.
You want me to say?
Bob Huggy.
Bob who?
Huggy Bear.
Bob Knight will come back from the dead. And I'm being serious because ain't nobody for Jesus come back from the dead. If Bob Huggins is named the coach, Dan Dawkins will lose his mind. Dan will lose his mind. He's like, no, I love it. Secretly hating it. I can't believe it. I didn't make me. No, man, Bob Huggins. Bob Knight will come back from the dead. Hey, man, what's going on with the homie and Doc Gottlieb and Brian? What did he do?
Well, Gottlieb took some shots at Bronny on his on Twitter and on his radio show.
About his play?
And LeBron decided to clap back in his tweet, but in the most LeBron way ever, he did it the day after Gottlieb won his third game. and LeBron was making fun of the 2 game, but he did the tweet a day later than he should have.
Oh, okay.
But did you see Gottlieb's tweet after they won the game the other night?
No, I didn't.
He said 3 down, 15 more to go. If you count it all up, that's the regular season, the conference tournament, and the NCAA title.
You know, him and Dan Hurley are very passionate guys, man. I think they know their basketball, but they got to be the most delusional at times head coaches I've ever experienced. For real. Him and Dan Hurley. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me.
Shout out to the IUPUI Jaguars. They're up at halftime right now on Detroit Mercy.
Let's go.
So shout out to them. Hey, they broke ground today on the new arena.
I know. I saw that, man. I can't wait till we get back up there, man. We got.
I lived to look at the photo. I had to make sure that you weren't there with one of those shovels today.
Dude, I wish we could have, man. Well, you were sick, and dude, I had my first substitute assignment today, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm officially a licensed substitute teacher in the state of Indiana, and I can work on different sides of town. So I sub out of Wayne Township and Pike Township. So my first assignment was pretty cool.
Good kids. They didn't try to dog you at all.
First of all, man, I'm probably the coolest anybody ever had.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, because I want you to get through. We're gonna get through the assignment, and then we're gonna have a little fun. Because you know what I'm saying?
Music history, the best R&B and our music history. We're gonna talk classic 80s television shows, Cartoon Network.
Right. I was a music teacher substitute.
We're gonna talk comic books, Marvel.
That's what we do. That's what we did.
And we gotta talk a little bit of sports.
The kids man, unfortunately, I didn't you really gotta talk sports with 6th graders or higher.
Yeah. But you could talk comic books, Marvel, Spider-Man, all that. You can talk all that and more.
But it was, like I said, it was cool. It was a cool little experience. Then I had to go back to my YMCA after school and kick them in the, rear. So man,
you still up here at Westfield at all?
I ain't been. Man. You know what? That was just kind of
nice
them
facility,
out.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and it's expanding. It's getting even bigger. I might be out there at Westfield during summertime though.
Let me know. I'll head out there. I live 2 minutes away from it, so
bet them up.
Last couple things I have, John. Daytona 500 was this weekend. William Byron won the race. Avoided 2 big crashes at the end. Was in 9th starting the last lap. A lot of drama in it. As always, rain delay, red flag, stopped the race for several hours. They didn't get it back started till late in the evening. But I thought Daytona 500 was good. NASCAR is back, so they're rolling strong. USA Canada hockey had 5.2 million views, which was amazing for the hockey. Now I did see golf, and the golf Twitter guy went back at me. But he talked about how the viewership for golf is huge and everybody's. I said, hold on, those numbers are skewed a little bit because Sunday afternoon, Daytona 500 was in a rain delay, so there was nothing on there. There was no big college basketball games. The NBA had no games until the All-Star Saturday. What the hell else is on TV on that Sunday except for golf? So I love golf, trust me. But
right.
I mean, those numbers are a little skewed for the golf that they had on their viewership. So. Yeah. And then last thing I had, John, was that the Cleveland was named the newest city to have the WNBA franchise. They're going to join in 2028. It's going to be the old Cleveland Rockers.
Coming back.
The original team name before they folded back in 2003.
Yeah, basketball is just growing. You know what I'm saying? Here in American culture, I love it, man. I wanted to kind of, hey man, I know the homie Cash Nevis did not have the best day at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he doesn't think that he got to jump back into another car to prove that he's some type of, because he was involved with the 7-car pileup or whatever. I hope
neither
one
of them was his fault though. So yeah. I think he should get a second chance at least.
Yeah, I mean, because he's a dynamic driver. If anybody know anything about IndyCar, and I know a tad bit because I live here, right? If you know anything about IndyCar, man, he's one of the top 10 all-time IndyCar drivers.
Yeah. Did you see? I had to check my Twitter this morning when I was I was looking. The Hardy Boys are back.
To do what?
Apparently
where?
they're fighting next week on NXT.
Man, stop. Hey man, after the All-Star game, there was an AEW event that came on. It helped me go
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah, their
I
Australia
was
show.
like, good night,
It was
snoozer.
their Australia show, which, by the way, they messed up because they didn't think logistically when shipping their ring, because the ring is a 20 by 20. They had to rent out a ring from somewhere in Australia, and people were dogging it because it was 18 by 18, so it was even a smaller ring for the show. While WWE actually, I was reading an article, WWE actually keeps rings overseas, so it's easier for them shipping wise.
Mm-hmm.
In storage for that. But yeah, AEW didn't realize the shipping time, so they had to use a smaller ring for their show on that Friday night. But
It still was a snoozer.
I'm
sorry.
I get a thing again updated for tickets for WWE and AEW tickets. It's a tweet, but it shows where all seats have been, what seats are still available, how many allotments are for the seats, and how many are left. And it kind of updates for the right before our show started. They showed for tonight's AEW. You have a huge, massive sellout show for AEW Dynamite tonight for a record crowd of 3,100 people.
Don't be like that.
That's what it was, 3,100 people.
You just trying to it's the brand, like, it's, I don't know, man. I mean,
the Hardy Boys are the TNA tag team champions as well. So there's that partnership with TNA and WWE.
It's a new wrestling world, man. Tap into it, but tread lightly.
What else do I have? Anything else? Last second. I don't think so. I don't. The conversation, as always, John, will continue on Twitter, on Facebook. We should be back next week again. Normal show. I haven't even looked at the schedule yet for me for that. But then we've got coming up our March Madness special show that me and John will do. We'll probably try to get Nick Peterson to join us as well. I'm trying to get his credentials for the Big Ten basketball tournament as well, John. So we got the Horizon League tournament. Those credentials aren't live yet. So we'll have those going on. The NFL Combine is coming up in 2 weeks. Sorry, next week here in Indianapolis. So I'm excited for that. The Combine. Kind of seeing what's all going on with that as always. Who's going to be competing, who's not, who's going to St. Elmo's Steakhouse, the shrimp cocktail, rubbing elbows with Jonathan Birdsong down there. So we'll have all that. Hey, truth be told, I saw next week we have 3 days in the 50s. So
we deserved it.
We may have an outdoor show. I don't know.
Because this snow showed up and ice showed up, and I was not prepared for it, man. I'm glad I had a bag of salt left in the garage to throw out there, but I was really not prepared for it.
I got a little bad news.
What's that?
So I played the market Micah Shrewsbury after his last press conference.
We got a copyright strike?
No, but they have a home game tonight.
Okay.
They're taking on SMU. Conference game, SMU, the ACC. There's 17 minutes left in the second half. So the second half just started. Notre Dame's down by 29.
Damn. What's going on? He's going to get fired.
What's the conference going to be tonight? Shit. Down 29 to SMU. I mean, I know SMU's there's 19-6.
I mean, I didn't know there was some ass kickers like that, but we might have to start looking at SMU as far as like a second weekend.
Here you go, John. It just came out. Per FOS, Front Office Sports, this year's NBA All-Star Game was the second least watched in history.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, Brandon. They lost a 13% share. You know what I'm saying? In ratings.
It's Saturday Night Live, man. It was during the same time. I guarantee that's what it was because they lost me. I watched Saturday Night Live.
They got to be some old David Stern tape. Everybody, and God love him. I love seeing Kobe Bryant like old speeches and conversations. I love it. I not like it, love it, Brandon. And I hated Kobe Bryant as a player, because he was always beating the Spurs or the Pacers or whoever, right? But we need to find some old David Stern tape and start funneling that through the system, man. Because this dude he cannot be happy with what it's like. He left Adam Silver. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, you're not a Silver guy.
I'm not, man.
No,
I'm not, man. I'm not, man.
You're not. It's okay.
Nah, it's all good, man. I'll get over it.
Before we go, I guess we got to talk NFL free agency.
Brandon, don't lose your mind, man. If they bring into the, if he comes into the home.
Why I'm seeing more and more talk about this guy coming to my Steelers, and Vegas odds now have it where it's the favorite to land. I don't want.
Grow the beard now.
Let me make a plea to the camera and clip this.
I am.
I, as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, lifetime fan, I do not want Aaron Rodgers to be the Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback, and I for damn sure do not want Daniel Jones to be the Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback. So please, Rooney and Tomlin, I don't give a shit who fits what system. I do not want either one of those guys in here. Just bring back Fields and draft somebody new, and let's see what happens. I do not want Rodgers. I do not want Daniel Jones.
Who said Daniel Jones? Who said Daniel Jones? Somebody said
came
that?
Out today. The Steelers are interested possibly in Daniel Jones, and he would fit the Arthur Smith offense. Yeah, you know what the Arthur Smith offense is? Handing the freaking ball off. So what the hell do you need that quarterback for? I do not want Daniel Jones, John. No. I don't want Aaron Rodgers, John. No.
You don't want Aaron Rodgers because it's going to be.
No.
You see, people just looking at production. It's not going to work with Aaron Rodgers and the coach and the system that they have built there. Even with the front office. The front office ain't dealing with Aaron Rodgers. Like, dude,
Aaron Rodgers needs to complete the process. He needs to complete the process. He was a Packer. He was a Jet. He needs to go to the Vikings because you knew who else did that? Brett Favre. Packer, Jet, Viking. Rodgers needs to complete it.
They might take him down south somewhere, but he ain't going to.
And I do not want Sam Darnold. Somebody was going to ask. I do not want Sam Darnold. I do not want Daniel Jones. I do not want Aaron Rodgers.
Don't they kind of need to address quarterback, though, just like the coach do on second day of the draft?
Who? Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I think
you gotta let one of the Soul brothers go, man. It's okay. We're gonna let Russell go. We're gonna
let Russ go. Let's go Fields.
Okay, right. So then you gotta get your second day quarterback.
Okay. So I'm glad you said second day because you tell me you think Aaron Rodgers is gonna sit there holding a clipboard? Not a chance.
No, he's not.
Not a chance.
Here go Good Morning America, lose mine.
I would rather bring back Russ because at least Russ is a team player on the bench.
Aaron Rodgers with the Pittsburgh Steelers would be like having Anthony, AB come back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No.
I don't want it, John. I don't. And I keep seeing it every day in my feed.
But like I'm saying, that makes sense, man. You bring in Fields and then you get you a second day quarterback, man.
Milroe.
He might be a first day quarterback. He won't be in the top 10. Or the top 12 either. Sorry, y'all.
So NFL looks like the salary cap's going to raise, so the Colts are going to have more salary cap to use if Ballard uses it. Thoughts on Colts going?
Well, we know. I think there's nobody's is on the tag for sure. Nobody's on the franchise tag. They're not putting nobody on.
Did you see T. Higgins today?
I know they're trying to keep him.
Not as much as him. His mama.
Well, she lost her mind.
So there's words that T. Higgins was going to be on the salary or the franchise tag.
Right.
And T. Higgins' mom went on Twitter today and quote tweeted, "Selfish bastards."
Oh, wow.
So she's not a fan of T. Higgins being franchise tagged by the Bengals.
I get my nose, the intricacies of these contracts and whatnot. But Mom, you also got to know that you're going to have to kind of keep that into your pocket because T. Higgins still going to get paid. Like, the franchise tag, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, he will make what the top wide receiver makes still just for that year. So the top wide receiver, if the top wide receiver for the year makes $29 million, he will make
there's an average of the top 10.
Okay.
So whatever the top 10 wide receivers are, you get the average of what those salaries between those 10 are.
But man,
he's still looking.
I was having this conversation.
Jamar Chase is looking at $40 million a year for his next contract.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with my nephew earlier today, man. Like even if it was a black owner, you know what I'm saying? Or like this is how things are negotiated out, man. Like you can't just call the owner a selfish bastard and like you know what I'm saying? And then your son, like they want like T. Higgins, like the fandom wants him to be there, right? But like how things work, like okay, they give T. Higgins all the money. You know what? You can go ahead and blow up the defensive line that they ain't really got anyway, right? Or something else is going to hinder the team from really being where they want to go back to the Super Bowl.
So Justin Jefferson's at $35 million a year, and the 10th one is Cooper Kupp at $26 million. So between 26 and 35 mil, whatever an average is.
Again, and it's still Cincinnati, so we ain't talking about like they printing money down, you know what I'm saying, in LA. And I get it, Jerry Jones, he's printing money down there in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But teams aren't necessarily built that. We can't just we give the quarterback the money and you get a wide receiver money. Like it's you know, they gotta fill out more parts of their team. They really do. Because it's not all there. If they want to get back to the Super Bowl, like the Cincinnati Bengals gonna have to be some self-bastards.
15th highest paid wide receiver in the league. You know who that is?
The homie Pittman.
15th.
If he can only get into the end zone.
The Dolphins and the Eagles are the only ones with over 50 million for their top two wide receivers combined. So the Eagles got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith at 32 million and 25 million. And then the Dolphins got Tyreek Hill at 30 million and Jaden Waddle at 28. And word is Jamar Chase is going to be looking around 40 million for his next contract. And hey, Joe Burrow was on the Barstool Sports Pardon My Take podcast, and he said, and I thought he was smart what he said. What he said, John, was, gosh darn it, I had it right here. Give me a second. He said you can convert some of the money into a signing bonus and it'll lower the cap hit. You could push some of that money to the back end of the contract, lowers the cap hit. When you go to the back end of the contract, you just restructure it and convert it to a signing bonus. Or you can just take less money because he wants to bring everybody back. And I don't know if that's going to be possible.
They have to have something change. If they want to, again, and the NFL thing about adding even more games through the season, if you want to get back to the Super Bowl, you have to have, again, the Bengals roster ain't as thick as the, you know what I'm saying, Philadelphia Eagles. The Bengals roster, if they got to, do you think if they got to a playoff situation with the Buffalo Bills of this year, I still would take the Bills. You know what I'm saying? There's still a pecking order that you know what I'm saying. I would take in a playoff situation, I would take Lamar and the Ravens over the Cincinnati Bengals the way they are currently constructed.
Okay.
But so they like I said, they got a lot of answers. They got a lot of holes to fill just beside T. Higgins.
So looking at free agency, going into free agency here, the number one running back, Aaron Jones, Raheem Mostert, Najee Harris, and AJ Dillon, and Nick Chubb. Those are your top running backs who are free agents. If you look at wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, it was T. Higgins until this franchise. Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson. They put him up here, even though he's and then D-Hop. I think if you're the Colts, John, I think you do whatever you can to get Godwin in here. I think he's done in Tampa, but I think you do what you can to try to get Chris Godwin as Indianapolis.
Do you think the Colts going to try to spend some money?
They have to. They have to.
Are they going?
I feel like I said this last year, but I mean, I feel like they have to.
Don't they also have?
Jared Lewis says, "Nah, John, they'd beat the Bills."
Let me look at that run.
Hey, man, but hey, he could think that they may beat the Bills. Everybody beats everybody once in a while. We're gonna let Jared take his shine, man. Ohio State's coming off that title.
I ain't talking about week 6.
Weeks. You're talking playoffs, not week 6.
I ain't talking about week 6.
We love you, Jared. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.
JB Sport Locker.
So what about Joey Bosa? You sent me a tweet earlier about Joey Bosa.
There's just some room. Hey man, you know, they gotta, you know, Harbaugh gotta put his stamp down there, man. And you know, he's thinking about Super Bowl. And Joey Bosa ain't a young man no more in NFL years.
Right.
So if you can't trade him, you got to cut. In the NFL, you have to cut him. He's got. I mean, I ain't saying Joey Bosa, you know what I'm saying, gets cut and he roll over and die. Don't get it twisted, but because somebody would take his talent and, you know what I'm saying, and plug a hole for sure. But it's kind of been floated, you know, deep state, right? It's kind of been floated out there that he might get cut.
I'd take him in Pittsburgh. Come on over. We'll take you.
Dude, that
He
ain't
just freed up
want
more
everything.
contract getting Kristen
He
Smith.
just want everything, man. He probably go to San Francisco.
Yeah, hang out with his brother. The Bosa boys on each end.
Yep.
Anything else, John?
Nah, man, I think we pretty much covered it, man. I think we had another classic one, man. Sorry, you know what I'm saying, with the technology, you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, conversation continues on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll always have a conversation going on there. Thank you for watching tonight. Please like, subscribe, share. That's what helps us to pay our bills. We want to thank our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance as well. Without them, we would not be able to do this show, and they've been a generous, very generous, loving sponsor over the years. We are actually coming up for Crossroads Sports. Since I started Crossroads Sports back in the day, 8th year anniversary is coming up.
That's
in
crazy, man.
8 years in a couple weeks. So we'll say that, hey, we need to try to get an episode here coming up. We need to get Matt Gaddis back on. So,
well, I mean, I know as we get ready to wrap, Matt will be back. I got to reach out to him to get a solid day, but Matt will be back on there with us as we kind of, you know what I'm saying, especially as we kind of go into tournament time.
Yeah.
I also want to tell you that I did send out a feeler for the homie Danny Bridges from the Indianapolis Recorder, talk a little racing. You know what I mean? I also got another little feeler, another special guest, man, the homie Jamal Sylvester. He used to play for Ball State back in the day, man. He also used to be Indiana All-Star. We just got to get our stars aligned, man. You know, it'll be a good trip, you know what I'm saying, for you as well, man. Just learn about the history of Ball State basketball. But you know what I'm saying, we got some goodies coming down the pipeline, man.
I saw the veteran going at it with Mick Foley.
Jack
the veteran. Him and Mick Foley going at it.
Oh,
OVW.
On Twitter?
OVW. He was on it.
Oh, okay. It's not okay. I got you.
There was security camera footage of Foley taking a chair shot from the veteran.
Hey, man.
Behind him.
The veteran, and you know what I'm saying, he's a serious contender, man. I get it, man. People, you know what I'm saying, he kind of landlocked. He's here in Indiana, but he does his thing on Twitter. And at one point, he had his one campaign to ban the super kick. To go fund me to pay the super kick, man. But the veteran, I hope the veteran gets a good rub off that for sure.
Latest Steeler news for you just came out.
You're not getting Daniel Jones.
Jeff Hathorn of 97.3, the fan of Pittsburgh, that there was a report the Steelers are, quote, very much interested in Browns running back Nick Chubb as a free agent. Tom loves himself, Mr. Chubb.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see that.
He gets Chubb from Mr. Chubb.
Oh, wait, slow down.
Deep State. All right, John. Hey, enjoy the rest of the week, man. We'll be on Twitter. We'll be on Facebook. I'm going to try to kick this cold. Get yourself some gummy worms now because I don't know if it's going to be around much longer. So get yourself some gummy worms. Get yourself some snacks, candies.
Gummy worms going away?
Deep State might be pulling the candy. When I see your tweet that says Pepsi Cola, watch out. That's my jam. I'm a big Pepsi guy. I can't have that.
Oh man, Three Foolish Men, man. If y'all want to be entertained on Twitter, man, come on down.
We'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening to